Hello friends, hi, namaskar. This is Dr. Ashish Shah for Samanvay Briefings. Today we will talk on the tariff imposed by America on India or by President Trump on Prime Minister Modi or India, which is 25%. So this can be seen from various angles, and I am sure different people will have a different opinion on it. And there are, of course, many outcomes of this event. One of the important outcome is that all that euphoria that was there between India and America, or President Trump and PM Modi, when Trump was president in tenure 1, that all has evaporated, and things are now almost at the lowest level, basic minimum, you can say. Therefore, we have to understand what is really the ground situation. Okay, is that really that bad? Is it going to hurt India? Or this can be overcome in days to come, or months to come, or maybe years to come. So let us analyze this and try to see where does things stand. So as we see it, first of all, let us be clear. India was clearly over expecting from President Trump, or what you say, from America. See, America or President Trump has not spared UK, which is its biggest friend, as well as European Union, which is also its most important ally, and they are part of NATO together, right? So on EU they have imposed 15%, and on UK they have imposed 10%, which is the baseline, right? Even countries like Japan, which has been their close ally for so many years now, decades, as well as South Korea and many other countries. So no one is spared. So why did India was expecting that Trump will be lenient on India? This is hard to imagine. Means there is no good reason why Trump will be lenient on India. In fact, President Trump has said that India is our close friend, PM Modi is my close friend, but these are the harsh realities. India has a trade deficit and they impose very high taxes on American goods, because of which American goods are unable to penetrate the Indian market, which is true. At present, India exports around $80 billion of goods worth to America, while India imports $40 billion. So there is a trade deficit of $40 billion. Now, Trump is on a mission. We have to understand that. Trump is on a mission to repair the American economy, to make it stronger, or what they call it, MAGA, make America great again. That is his single motto, right? And it was because of this he had been elected as the US President. There is a vast majority of voters who have supported him on this MAGA issue, and he can't disappoint this his core voter base. And he knows that if he disappoints them, they all will be very much disappointed. Okay. Therefore, with this in mind, he has made his mission to keep American interest over and above any other things, whether you are a friend or a foe or a ally or a NATO ally or whatever, right? Nothing comes before American interest, correct? So that is the first condition that we have to take seriously into consideration. See, as of now, Trump is in a totally different state of mind. He is not willing to listen to anyone, and he has certain goals that he wants to fulfill. And one of them is that he wants to stop this Russia-Ukraine war at any cost. And because of this, he has rather threatened Russia multiple times, and also not only Russia but all those countries like India and China who are supporting Russia by buying its oil, also by saying that he will impose sanctions on them. Right. So this should not also cause worry for us. These are very standard President Trump's point of view, which he is following, right? At least as of now. So far as this trade deal is concerned, we are sure that in the next few months, maybe 2 to 4, this trade tariff deal will be sorted out and will be signed, which will be mutually beneficial to both the countries. I have no doubt about it, right? US is not a fool, and India is also not a fool. So this is a tug of war, rather negotiation tactics that is going on, and time will take its own way to sort it out, right? Now, having said that, let us again try to see what exactly Trump is trying to achieve. Right. See, Trump knows that China is the bigger enemy in the room. Okay. And initially he tried to persuade President Putin to stop the Ukraine war so that it can be on its side. Right. However, President Putin refused that. This has created hassles for President Trump and his larger view of containing China by making Russia as an ally. Right. Now, we have to see why Russia is not taking the bait of President Trump, right? And we'll come to know in the days or months to follow, right? One of the reasons is that Russia wants to take as much part of Ukraine by keeping the strike, right? And there will come a point when it will be willing to negotiate or go for ceasefire. But till its geographical goals are achieved, it will not take the offer of President Trump seriously. Right. Therefore, President Trump has no choice but to sanction against Russia as well as India and China. Right. However, as we will see in months and years to follow, that the whole scenario will change. And there will come a time when Russia will be more aligned towards US. Right. Just wait and see. Because US can't wage a war against Russia for long. It has already done it, and there are no concrete results for it. Right. And no one wants to go for a nuclear war. Right. Therefore, the only solution is that America makes further concession to Russia so that Russia becomes an ally of the US. This will happen in another maybe 1 year or maybe 2 years, that's it. Right. Therefore, India has to be very smart while dealing with President Trump. India has to keep its long-term objectives in mind. Right? It should not go for short-term or quick gains. And the long-term interests are that we need Russia as our solid partner. We need America also, but we cannot rely on America as much as we can rely on Russia. That is the harsh reality. And that we have to keep in mind. And that is the reason India has not reacted to the sanctions imposed by President Trump as a penalty for buying Russian oil. Right? It is taking that in its stride, and it will keep buying Russian oil, which we are think is the right thing and the wise thing. Right? So without getting disturbed or getting provoked unnecessarily, India has to keep playing the ball, negotiate hard with Trump as much as he's doing, and in months to come get a, if not very favorable, at least a win-win situation for both the countries. Right? It should also maintain its relations as it is with Russia. There are also talks going on between India and China, which is also welcome. However, as we know that, and we all are aware that China is not a country to be relied, right? But in diplomacy, you have to keep talking, you have to keep communicating, and look for avenues wherever you can gain. Okay. So again, the same methodology applies for China. Keep playing the ball without giving anything substantial or without believing blindly on the dragon. As simple as that. China is also going some hard transformations politically as well as economically, and just geopolitically also. So therefore we have to wait for our opportunity. Whenever we find a good opportunity, we should strike hard and try to get a bargain out of China. And we are sure that China will succumb. We don't have to pay attention to Pakistan. Pakistan is in a trap, and sooner or later it will realize that its dual policy of engaging everyone, or its over ambitions to become as strong as India, cannot be materialized. For the simple reason that you cannot grow or you cannot become strong without doing some hard work and without some real talent pool, right? Which it lacks both in terms of hard work also, human resources also, and everything. Right? So let us keep Pakistan out of picture. Let us concentrate on ourselves. Let us make India strong by local manufacturing. Let us maintain our relationship with Russia, and let us play ball with America as well as China. This is what we think will be the right strategy for India at the moment, and let us again review the whole situation in 6 months or a year's time. That's all for today's podcast on the tariff imposed by America on India. We'll be back soon with another podcast. Thank you very much for watching this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.